That's a tour with them. Right, we're going to kick off, people. Those who have joined us, thank you for coming in. Right, what you see is all my bits, me leftovers from when I did my water irrigation in the tunnel. So I'm just going to take them to our gardening meeting next week, our general meeting, and see if anybody wants them. If anyone's going to start up. But you can either send away for the sets like I did, but now I know they flog all this stuff in B&Q. All you got to do is find out the length of your feed, basically, then see how many bits you want, and you buy exactly what you want, meaning you ain't paying for this lot and not using it. Right, next one. Talk in Rubery. This is in Brum. This one's, I think it's February. I'm still waiting for confirmation on that. Well, I'm there anyway. Well, they've just finalised which day, one or two. That's on composting. And this one is down Bodmin, Cornwall.
Yeah.
This is a good jaunt. This is in the town council office. This is a Cornwall Day Society, but it's on a Sunday. That's me to do a talk. This one of the furthest places I've been. It's on par with Plymouth. I've been there twice, but this place. But it's on a Sunday during the day, not on an evening. Because if I do a talk on evening, if it's over 2 hours, I ask for bed and breakfast as well. But because it's Sunday, they expect me to go down and get ready for the talk. I think it's 2 p.m. to start, so I can get down there for that and get ready for it. And I'm going to do 2 talks for them with a break in the middle. And then it's 4:30 finish. 3.5 hours to get there. But I'm still, well, I've told them what I want, price wise, which is still bloody cheap for them. But it's up to them. But that should be a good one.
It's a fair run down there.
It bloody is.
Yeah, but it's easier to get to than Plymouth because you're only just off the main road.
Yeah. This one is, as you can see there, Tamworth and Arden. I'm judging, well, fruit, flowers and veg. I did it last year, and then last week back, and I'm doing it again. That was a local councillor. A cracking visit to Red House, Glass House, Cone. Should really used to make the glass, obviously, the cut glass. Right, mycorrhiza fungi, 12 quid, saw this, 360 gram, Robinson's. Still flog mine, 400 gram, file. And I'm still making. Right, this is me happy firework. Now, these, as I mentioned these before, because I had these from seed. And all the seed, well, his mate's got a field, and basically it's open pollinated in this field. There's no viruses about. Nobody ever grows cannas at me or nothing. And the good thing is being open pollinated, you get crosses. So this one, when I took a photo of this and sent it to Sylvain from Canada, and saying this is the happy firework seed I love you. He was impressed because that's the mother. So mine has come off this one. So there is a slight little bit there, but that's what you get. You might get I don't think any are going to be soft colours, but that's what I do. Right, Jerry, I think he's had about 4 shows just lately. He's been busy in the road, but he was out again, just finished, and this was the New Forest show down Hampshire. I went there about 8 years ago. he gets about, obviously judging the fruit, but you can have a nose around one on there. And he put a few photos on of the veg. Some nice peas, Gordon Bennett. How the hell do you get them this early? Although,
well, Sherry Plum done all the winning down there, though.
Yep, good. Like to see it. That'll pay the big boys off.
Weren't it? That was Sherry with the back to you there.
Jim Thompson. Oh, of course it is. Well spotted. Collection of veg. It took some doing and all. Not bad to say it's still early. Shows when you started up. That's what I like to see. We got one of them on ours. Nice dried onion. Good shape. But the weather makes all the difference wherever you go, whatever you do. I'll go on to it later on, but in the Mrs. last night, we had a meal with Aaron, the youngest, and his girlfriend in Brum, and the heavens opened, and the pub's only just around the corner. We got drenched, but these lot, lucky, Shire horses, like a drop of his muck, and him, and the goat muck. Cheers, Jerry. You don't know nothing about it. You'll know when he looks at this during the week. Right, I like me Gladys. I mentioned the British Gladiolus Society before on Facebook. I've invited quite a few people to go on, and 3/4 of you have gone on. But you can learn from it. There's loads of the people go on there, good growers, and they will help you out. And the online shows have just started, in fact, this afternoon. There'll be 3 shows this year. So the weekend in Friday, August 4th, and that's just opened. I've put mine in, so I'll explain in a bit. And there's another one August the 11th, and then there's one September the 8th. These are online shows for people that can't get to the shows. Like if they've got a nice glad, you think, oh, he's a cork. I'd love to show him, but there ain't no shows, or if there is, I can't get to them. Then you can put them on here. So if you just go on the British Gladiolus Society, and just go on the featured, there's online shows, the judging guidance that tells you what the judges are looking for and preparing for the show. It just goes through what you've got to look for as well in your gladdy. Also making an entry. Basically, you just go on this and you find the class you want to put your gladdy in, whether it's 1, 2 or 3, or with print. There's different classes for each one. It tells you how to just go on your class, put your photo on, the name of variety is known. And this was on tonight, like class 1. Luckily for me, it was 1 spike for him, and that's what I put in. And I knew it was Lady Helen, so I bunged that on tonight. Luckily, it opened up. It was only 21 minutes before I saw it, so I managed to bung it in. Good thing about the show was obviously that's a week away or something, and it'd been finished by then. So fortunately, you can put something in when he is ready. But what's the good if you're interested? Right, trying on back of the garden. What we're looking at? We're looking at in there. So my next photo, we'll get a close up. Look at that. Brilliant. But not camouflage, but little deterrents. It's got eyes on him, spiky strappers, but I don't want him on my plant. So I transferred him next door into the wilderness, whatever he was. In your garden life, you have fads. Like veg is almost gone now with me in the back garden. I still do my exhibition peas. I mean, stump carrots. That's just for our show. But something goes and something else comes in. Something else takes over. With me, it's the cannas, as you can see here. Love them. Still learning myself, but busting. Right, time for to feed me citrus. Rainwater. Will beat tap water every time. Good stir. Make sure it does all of everything. And I've got things outside. Tunnels there, greenhouses here. So the pathway, obviously got these lot in, but me and the hound can still get past. There's enough room here. So I've got a peach there. And I've got a lemon there. Inside the tunnel, I've got a lime, as you can see. There's another lemon there. And this is inside in the house. That's just an ornamental orange. If I'd known when before I bought him, I wouldn't have bought it. Anyway, I've got him. Cannas that I've planted in the ground. These on the bottom. He's one in the firework brigade as well, as is that one. But he's in a pot. The bigger that was in the middle of my raised bed, because of the height of him and the winds we have. The wind toppled him. I should have really clicked on. So that's his home now, and he's got a bit of protection there, which is perfect because that down open the door slides that road, so I can get away with it. The hound can still run up the pathway. Another one that's planted out, and they've all got protection in the sense that they've got a fence behind them. That will give them a bit of protection over winter, and they will be chopped down as soon as the first frost jobs them, and then they'll be mulched just to protect them again. If we get some -7s or 8s like we did last winter, then they'll have a bit more mulch over. Or if I do lose them, then I lost nothing, because I shall get more next year from when I pot on. But this little chap is thrown 3 more new shoots. And there's one ready to open, just say by the time he's finished, which is what I like about the cannas. And these are the last 3 biggish ones that are bought out. There's 2 more in the greenhouse. I've got a job, but no signs of any spikes on them yet. These are watered every other day if we don't get no rain with the feed. And you've got to feed them, obviously, because they throw flowers. Anything that throws a flower, fruit, whatever, give them a bit of weight. If it's a veg, then you got to feed them as well. Top of the garden, just before the tunnel, I've got another canna there. Might have to thin some of this rubbish around him so it don't stifle him. I know that there's a gap in front of that, but I couldn't remember what else was around here. But we'll look after the chap. Right, my last 2 cannas, which are in the greenhouse, is that one from Holland, I've got to keep an eye on. Make sure he's virus free, and that one as well. The last canna which I planted out, which you ain't seen yet, is in the middle of the front of the raised bed, top of the garden. This one is a dwarf pink. So we'll see what that chap looks like later on. This one this as we come out the door. Obviously, this is one of the first ones I planted out. But if we look a bit closely at the stem, I notice this. Oh, Christ. Everything you do, there's something that's against you. So I took a photo, sent them 2 photos to my mate in Canada. Looks like fungus. You got cool, rainy weather. Yep. 4 fungus species. Love, cool and wet. So I'll give him a spray. New fungicide. In that and all the others, which obviously anyone know about it. Prevention is your and I've used this stuff when it was on the fruit trees. But see what I mentioned the firework, a rocket going off. Right, my net with the weight of this lot has pulled me top wire off the cane, so I'm going to tie him back on again. I've tied him on with wire, thin wire, meaning that ain't gonna snap like the string did last time. House plants, if you get a nice day, no wind, then they come out and they get a good soaking. Right, my peach, which is inside my tunnel, originally I just had it as a standard, but you got a bit high. Obviously, the roof of the tunnel is up there, so I'm in 2 minds. I want 2 new leaders from the base here. For all the extras, I'm going to take off anyway. So I've got my sharp implement to give me a nice cut. My healing. Look at that, clean as a ferret. Bit of honey, seal it. Lick my finger. Dendrobium in the kitchen. I thought I'd lost the chap, but he's showing new signs of growth. Good lad. I hope it hadn't been on. I don't know if that needs potting on or not. Right, I need a good mix of my own brew, plus to put on some cannas. Also, I'm chopping up the dried seaweed. So I get my brew out, the compost, loads of worms obviously, and eggs. Beautiful stuff. Right, that pot is that pot size. So E is now going into this one. Holes in the bottom, normal thing, fill them up underneath. I don't know if they're dropping out as I'm moving them around. And these are on the grass off, I guess, the astroturf. So I don't want any crap coming out of there. Hamster muck underneath, no strength in it, but it'll give the plants a boost. Right, my compost is then put in until that pot is level with the top of that. Just pressing down slightly and getting it level again. So that lot I'm putting in the side, then just turning the pot round and then doing that side, and then those 2 sides, and it keeps that pot nice and upright and packed in. Up in the chap, nice white thick roots. That'll do me. See the original bit of paper still on there, leave them in. And if it water 2 days before, this ain't going to collapse when you do pick them up. And you can hold him by the stem. Nice and upright. I'll put him up right there and just push firm this in. He was going slightly that road. So just hold him upright, then firm him in, and this like they push around down as well. When you're finished, give him a good weight to it. Because I've been using my compost, and I did that trial with I remember last week. And week before, I think I mentioned as well, the super soil. we'll see that in a bit. But I know these springtails, lovely little chaps, jump about. They are goodies. If you get this in a compost or your soil, you've got a good growing medium. And those holes on them when I water the chap. Went to the springtails for a while now in my compost. The trials I did for the super soil, I weren't impressed with it as a feed, or so I did different things. And one thing without, and the other thing, well, it weren't without, it was with my normal feed up against super soil. Obviously, if you use just super soil and the other side gets nothing, then it's going to work, whatever it is. But I weren't impressed with it. But the trial I did with the compost was, when I watered this stuff, there was hundreds of the little chaps. Because it brought the chaps to the surface, there's a lot of moisture. So that worked for me with that, which we'll go on to later on. This chap, me and the missus forgot all about him. Don't know if we had him last year. Don't even know what it is. He's a cork of a flower. And there's horns on them on there. Right, now I've finished with composting trial. Well, I've still got to do another one, but with 2 bins. I've got to buy 2 containers and do it that road. But I still need my own compost, so I'm chopping everything up as normal. I did this again this morning. And my carbon as well, the shredded paper, porridge. There's my oyster shells, alfalfa pellets, rock dust, all the bits. Right, once I know he's drained, he'll go back in the greenhouse. There's wood chip, topsoil going in. The eggshells I've finished running out of the crush. So I'll just put them in a bag, freezer bag, and crush them by my hand while I'm in the bag. But they're still too big for the worms, so I'll put them through a blender. I think these are 12 quid in Lidl. Just bung them in, press them down. Perfect. That's better. Now the worms can chew it. So everything's chopped into a bag with everything else. And a mixture. Fistful of everything else also to be bench in the greenhouse. All goes in. It's a large sided compost bag, and then just all that in, and then just upend it 5 or 6 times, and it just mixes everything for me. So when it goes in the compost, I ain't gotta look for it, it's there. I just gotta open the wagon, and if you keep it moist and warm, then we'll rapidly go through it. Just keep it nice and warm. It's not going to cook. It's going to go white plastic round, and that repels the heat and the light. So I take my lid off, and my carpets. Put all my chopped in bits what I've just put in, level it out, and give it a good watering. Put my carpets back on. If they need a wetting as well, and I'll water them. Perfect. Right, what's that there? Another intruder. If there's a leaf curled up, there's something inside it. He's protecting himself by trying to hide. And there he is. That's what he's done. But when you open that, you got to put your hand on the leaf and catch him. So I dropped the little bugger. Well, I caught one of them just seen there, but the biggest one dropped in the straw. Because I got a straw mulch. And bloody lost him. The same colour as the straw. Right, these 2 need potting on. Right, this is the trial I did. the one I videoed. The one I did when I said it didn't work for me. For my normal stuff in the garden. I sent that to her. More very happy. I says, I've just told you the truth. If it don't work for me, then it don't work. But it has worth me composting the centre to give me springtails. So we'll have a nose. Right, I did a trial the last month with super soil on my compost and my leaf mould. But the cock up I made when I put it in the bin, instead of having two separate, well, I've only got one bin anyway, but it ain't work. The goodies that are in the super soil took over the whole of the compost. So me doing half and half, that ain't work. So I'm going to do that trial again. But one thing I did find, if I'm doing that round, I got my compost out this morning, obviously at the end of the trial. I put this canna on, so I've used my compost to top dress it and fill it out. And when I watered this morning, I might have all cleared off, mine all dried out. But if I can zoom in, I'll be able to see it. Show it to the blur. You can see the little chops there. Jumping about like the ones this morning. So put that back to normal crap. What I'm going to do is leg it to the compost bin and get some more compost out. Show you that way. That's all the springs out. And my compost ready is ready to use within a month. But I ain't had springtails for 20 odd here. I mean, I've got springtails in now. It is. So it's going to, I ain't done nothing else with it or whatever. So I'm going to get some more compost out involved. So bear with. Obviously, I've only got two hands. You've been with his white coat on, a white top, to reflect the heat and the sun. I don't want the worms cooking. Take my lid off. Carpets on the bottom. So I'm going to take them off. That keeps some moisture and the warmth in. Now, from doing my test this morning, because obviously I've finished the test, so all the crap I've been saving for the past, well, only for the last week, chopped that up and mixed it, and I've top dressed that. So all I've got to do, scrape a bit of this away. There's my original compost underneath, and that's what I want. So I'll put my bowl in. Get him out. So I need to have a quick purge. Right, that'll do. Back in the greenhouse. Tray down. A bit of dump on. Right, I've obviously got my worms in, which is what I want anyway. It's just the springtails. Done the other chaps of worm eggs, so we know that's good stuff. Oh, let's see if this works. Yeah, focus. Too close. There's little chaps in there, leggies about. Yeah, soon be naked on. Trying to focus. There's a springtails there, you can see what the leggings about. The springtails are there. That's good. That's what I want. These are goodies. You've got springtails in your compost or in your soil. There's a chap that see leggings about in the middle. Then you've got good compost and good soil. So that's that lot. So super soil works my compost in the sense that it gives me springtail, is what I want. Right, I go for a while. I'm still going to do another trial, 2 separate. I did 2 buckets of do a trial in there. Plus I'll do the trial in the leaf mold as well. Properly to start. If anybody doesn't make compost ready, use with their mold. So I want to get it a sprinkler I can get it. I'm using it as a growing medium IE on these. Shit, press the wrong one there. Anyway, I do. It works. That's why I'm promoting it. Just for me compost at the moment. I'll do another trial later on. Right, if you remember me cherry tree, there was a branch that was growing up, and I persuaded it by putting string and a weighted object on, just pulling it down. I persuaded it or telling it where to go. That's off the ground. So I'm just going to lift that string like on there, and it's still going up. Not as much as bad as it was, but brought it back down again. And I've just tied that up a bit more, so it's coming down a bit more. So I'll give him another week. This was down Asda coming out, and I saw these and I thought, obviously this is a posh grow more. It's got trace elements and other bits. So I thought they would do for stuff in it, well, for everything. Basically for peas in the tunnel. Well, they will do for everything. Or so I'm going to pervert the what goodies they got in them. But I got one of them anyway. I've just finished looking after the garden for next door neighbour. But when I went round, obviously I caught it the grandchild. So it just looks at me from make sure I don't do a runner. Right, this is from my next door neighbour. That's my end of my greenhouse there. There's always weeds. So one was away on holiday. Went in there and got the weeds up. And then that's his garden here. So this is between my greenhouse and my first raised bed. There's weeds growing down here. So I'm going to get all that out. And I could just manage to get down there. Oh, he going sideways, leaning on the framework of the glass. So I can just bend down and pick the weeds out. So another job done. Got away with that. Birthday last week. Mandy did Boston. I don't know what it is. What is it? A cake anyway. Double cream. Boston. And that for pudding. Right, in the Sun newspaper, so it's going to be true. Well, I know it's true because it happened to me about 6 years ago, which is common sense, really. Any supermarkets that flog fuel, they get it cheap because it's second grade, meaning now and then you will get caught out, like I did, in the sense that they had a delivery and they got water in the fuel. And there was about, because I went on the local, because it's in Craigleith, and I went on their local group, Craigleith, group, about 5 people along with me. It happened to all of us, so I said it's probably the supermarket then. It contains something that we've done. So we said we were all going to fight, and we did start to, and then in the end there's only me still doing. Well, it would have cost me, I think it was 400 quid just to get a solicitor and take them on. And they come back with their big boys, and there's no way I was going to win, so I just stopped using them. And telling people now, if you use it because it's cheap for a reason. It's crap. Get good fuel, look after your engine. Loads of things opening up now. This purple thing with me and the missus. Couldn't remember that from last year either. Right, dithane, that's what I'm gonna. So extra roses, peas, peach, pear, and now I've added on the bottom of there cannas. Spray them and all. Right, exhibition peas. I think these are the last 3 to go out. Look like it. So there's one going in the tunnel, which is good along in. So it's going there because that little jet coming out. So wait for him. Show the others. Obviously, they're going to go straight up growing. They're going to tie and persuade them. And the feelers, all the fingers, tick them off. Then all the nourishment will go into the chap. Give them a head start. So the compost is just dug out with that and forth and pushed to the side. About the size of him. Yeah, he's ready to go out. Then just bung him in. Once he's upright, that cane will be pulled out. Once I got the first tile all done, then I'm going to wait to the chap. That's going to take too long because I've got a straw mulch anyway. It ain't going to knock into about, so I'll just take the lid off and bung that in. Right, indoor blackberry. There's 3 spurts so far. They've got flowers on. There's 2 more at the back that are just shooting up as well. There's quite a bit of this stuff. This was blocking light and whatever, so I'm going to thin him out anyway because I want air movement around everything. I saw this chap on one of the leaves. It's one of them leaf hoppers. Some say them goodies, some say them baddies. So I'll get him next door neighbour, just in case. And I've started thinning this out as well. It's too compact. I want a bit of air movement in there. Right, you can see on the bottom of the first peas I put in the grey mould mildew, so started spraying them as well. Obviously when the sun's off them. Raddies in the greenhouse. These are my spares. I've got no way to plant them. And those cormets or corms, so I'll put them in pots, obviously. And then someone ready to go out. So I'm going to put some more out. Got gaps down here for 5, so they're going. Because I'm putting them on the front, I can still get between them to get the stuff at the back. But I'd rather plant them out than just have them in pots. It must be a pain in pots anyway. But once I'm all out, mulch will go on top again. Keep the moisture and warmth in. 1 pea, exhibition pea will go outside as well. It's the last one to go out here. This is at the side of the shed, top of the garden. He's the last one to go in. So I've got 4 different sowing dates. We'll see what happens at the end of the year. See which one I'm going to go for. And there's one going out as well. So let's top of the garden, bottom of the garden, one in the tunnel. This is the last one to go out here. Obviously, then in the tunnel, I'm going to do better. This one and the one in the shed. The one behind the shed, I'm going to get so much sunlight as the others. That's what I'm trying. Good watering. Perfect. The first gladi, which I put in the mini-raised bed, when I was spraying, I forgot about my gladdies. I didn't spray against thrip. See if I can get a close up on it. You'll see the thrip, what they've done on the flowers. Them should be clean as a whistle. Nice colour purple or that went out the window. So the next spray, well, I still get sprayed, all of them. Because that's what thrip do. You've got to spray. Right, this was last Sunday. This was our reunion down at Portsmouth. This is Keppel from HMS Ganges, who was in Keppel Mess. And it was our reunion from when we joined up in '66. This was inside the ship Anson. This is a boozer near the dockyard gate in Pompey, Portsmouth Harbour. So there's all the crests for all the ships, obviously. Used to be full of bloody macros. But ain't really bad now. But unfortunately for us lot, my mate Colin, he come to the last reunion last year, which we had up in Arzo in. I organised that one. And he's, I think it was his cousin or I don't know. Some relative brought him up because he was very well then. He only stayed the night, the evening. They took him back about 9 o'clock, 9:30. But I messaged him 2 weeks ago and said if he was still okay to go, I'd pick him up on the way down. And then 10 days before we was due to have our reunion, the daughter got in touch. He was on his deathbed and he died the day before we had the reunion. Good lad he was. I've learned when I was in the mob and the fire service, anybody like that who was close, I just had me 5 minutes to myself and then I just block it out. That's the best way. And I did that with the older mate, Colin, when I was a BBC guy as well, live talking there. He passed away there and I just had 5 minutes to myself and then just blanked it out altogether as though it never happened. It's no good stressing, worrying, you ain't gonna do, can't do sod all. But some people don't like it, couldn't give a monkey. That's how I get through it. So we had a little top for him. So luckily the ship Anson's here. When the sun's out, it comes over there and that goes down this side. So us lot, 1 o'clock we met up. Nick was there at 12:30. I went too long after him. We got a good table for us. And luckily, they helped them get the tables and chairs out because they just opened up. Because the sun was a bit cloudy in the morning, and they didn't think the sun was going to shine. But luckily, we had the sun all day. Beautiful day. So once again, while I was still sober, went and got me some seaweed. But the seaweed I got was crap compared to the last lot of seaweed down green, because that was clean. This has got bloody rubbish in, fag ends. But I'll sit through that crap anyway. HMS Warrior. It's a brilliant tour. If you're ever down Pompey, go and have a nose around that. And there's my seaweed. We bunged that in the back of the motor. Or will they leave that out? Because if somebody from the Midlands down there, they'd probably nick it. Oh. One of the lads, he totally forgot he left. I mean, we're all getting bloody old, but he's got Parkinson's. And his missus was looking into it, is looking into everything. And has found out if you put your hand on top of your head, you lose your shapes. And he says, go on then, do it. And it worked. How the hell does that happen? Is looking into that. It's weird, in a row. That's four of us. Going to drink for our Colin. This was a calf next door. We're going to bring us walk some pasties up for us and bring them all sausage rolls. It was a good old stick. I had to go back for the brown sauce from the troops. Right, we all joined up. I think there was two good to make it, but we had a drink for them and all. They was coming. That'll be in the next one. But we had a good sesh. And while I was there, we hadn't got a clue. But these lot have all got horns, obviously, on the bikes and whistles. Of course, when they're going past, and then we looked up and they're all bloody naked. When I got on, showed Ben the photo, he said, oh, it's National Naked Bike Day. If he was down in London, he was going to do it down there. There's loads of them. So I zoomed in for the troops. You want to see his tugger. And they've got a bloody arm in the road. Phil, that's my mate. Obviously, I'm all mates. But he's doing his own book there as well. And the other books he's got on HMS Kansas, he brought them down. He'd give me that one if you'd done. After we'd had a good sesh, tea time, we then get back in the travel lodge, only around the corner. Another good thing about it. And we had our bits, and my mate who sat next to us, that was called a dinosaur steak. Never bloody heard on it. But look at that, beautiful. I think it was 25 quid. Bloody Nora. He's loaded. That was near the end of the night. Only me and Phil left. Another bottle with him. And breakfast in the morning. That's my tablets. After that would be orange. And mate did me 2 poached eggs. Running. Good lad. I like me fry up. When I'm on holiday. So one round meat we fry up. Then have another round after with marmalade. I don't have a cup of tea. I'll be piddling on the way home. When I did get home, I did me seaweed out inside the greenhouse and forecast rain. Right, looking at my canna top of the garden, just before the tunnel, because now I'm looking for viruses and not virus. I saw that leaf, you don't look very well, all that underneath, so I pulled them both out. Give them a spray. Now I know it's nice and clean. So it ain't that easy. You've got to keep an eye on them. There's me spraying the chap. And the delphiniums, which I took out, chopped about 2 weeks ago. This is the new growth on them. If you remember, I fed and watered them. So the 2 cannas at the greenhouse, then the bought out as well. It is getting colder at night. Somebody put something on. Last night it was down to 8 in the Midlands, inside the greenhouse. I think it was warmer outside. I'm going to work that out. You know, after a couple of hours, so as soon as we're on it, I'll turn it. Right, this is the top of my garden, so that's my last fruit tree. It's privet from the end. The orchid garden ends there. It's privet from in over the back. only reached so far. So while I was on holiday, I chopped all that for him because that was growing into Ardley's shed. You can see what it's ripped there, plus over my crap. So I jobbed the bloody lot for him. So I cleared all that. Well, I had to clear that to get up there. I squeezed in there. I chopped all this for him. I thought while I'm at it and while it's dry, I'm going to do the edge again next door. I did this about a month ago. So that's how, I mean, that's the bloody edge. That's how much it's grown. So I jobbed all that as well. I'm going to job this crap as well. I did slash it with a saw, swing it over. So keeping my eye on all these little chaps. I'm not going to save any seeds, it's too much hassle. Because once you get a flower open, you've got to pollinate yourself. Some of the sites I've seen on saving seed from cannas, and they've just said, you've got to wait till these go black, solid as hell, before you even get them off. But they don't even mention that you've got to pollinate the flowers. No one ain't getting nothing but anyway. That's too much hassle. I can get enough of one plant. So I don't want him. So I just hold him. Obviously I've got two hands. I can't put two hands on it because I've got to take a photo. So one hand would be on him, then the other hand would be pulling that away. So I'm holding them together. Just snap the seed in off. Don't need him. Now all the nourishment and go to the next flower. Right, I've got a gap here where I've lost a couple of peas. That's where a pea should have gone. So he's going to go in. Spare Gladdy. Got to use the space. Mulch him up again with a straw. Give him a good weight to it. Right, there's another 6 I'll get on the front. And there, Gladys. So I'll put the pots where I can get them in. And just scraped away. Another chap that's opened up. Couldn't remember him from last year either. I've got tablets out there for Alzheimer's and early signs. Might be a couple of people on that yet on your road. I'm bloody having them. Could cost me a yellow chap. He's opening up with more flowers. Honeysuckle. These are off, I don't know what they're. I had them off Hartley a couple of years ago. He's took them to now to open up the yellow. Little chap. This is under the bird feeder. As you can see, all bloody seed is sprouting from the bottom, from the seed. But this one I had from a show last year. With 4 roses I had for each corner of the raised bed. All these are opening up now. And then corkers, don't forget these are scented. When they get to about that position, they get the scent off. Boston. Right, I've put my 2 canes in either side of the peach inside the tunnel. All I've got on is 2 main stems. Obviously that's my main stem. 2 thickish stems off there. That's all I want. So I'm going to pull them over, tie them, train them to go there, which I have done. So eventually, I should pull him down. Once he's been there a week or so, I should pull him down and just train them slowly. Just persuade him where you want to go. Because he's a decent distance from him. So I'm all going to have air movement. And I'm going to ask there is finished, I think Jerry now, my fruit man, there is finished all his shows, judging whatever. I'm going to ask him if I drop that top off, I'm going to get new growth from that stem. Should do. But I don't want to job it. If because there's no choppers in them. I know I've got them two alright, but I want them three going all together. Right, fruit trees at the back, raised bed. They're doing well now. There's 8-foot canes which are got in it. And I can just reach the top of these by standing on the wall of the raised bed. So I've got another 2 foot from me reaching. So, well, no, say 2.5 foot. As a corner is perfect for me. And he's got a root in the middle. It's flamingo where he is. Few more flowers. I made dendrobium in the garden, green kitchen. Right, this is the raised bed, top of the garden, big laddies. Another duffin. Still got a few spares in the greenhouse, luckily. So he's coming out. Right, sun's come out. Get the seaweed out, turn it. Keep an eye on it. Went down ours, I got 2 more metal frames for the corners of my raised bed. I've got 2 in them back corners for the rows to hang on to, and already I'm tying them up to the rows. So these are for the 2 front corners. Obviously I can't get them in yet because of the plants they're in. So they'll go in when all the bedding's finished. I have to look after the 4 roses. Like the blackberry, the weight of this, it was bringing the plastic fencing. Not away from the walls. I've still got hooks in there, but it's bringing the top away. So I'm going to put extra hooks in there. So I've got all the bits out and bump some hooks in. Now it is nice and solid up against that wall. Fig tree is doing well. Should have figs ready for our show. I'm feeding him as well. He's having his own fig feed. Good thing now about Amazon, eBay, you can get anything. I didn't ever know there was a fig tree. There is. I need a couple of stakes in. I've got them 2 stakes, but I want this one staked. Meaning, tell him where to go. I want him to go up, same as these two mates. Here we are. I'll put in the right road with enough gaps around them so you've got air movement. Perfect. Right, these corblets was late going in. I was in the envelope top of the spare room upstairs. I thought, let's see, of singular beauty. The date, they went to 14th and the 6th. I thought it was a bit late. But I'm still going to put them in. And they've come through, obviously. And these are just coming through here. Saves waiting till next year. The leaf mould was to get back in the morning. I'm getting it's stocking up pretty neatly when I take Russian for a walk. I'm just nicking the leaf mould at the base of the trees, which it's already ready. Put it as a compost ingredient, it is superb. And I'm getting that much now. There's obviously a compost bag, but that was chocker. So I've now halved them. I put leaf mould on that one. So I've got my good brew and my mucks underneath and the leaf mould in there. So then my spares when I run out. Because I ain't gonna bother getting well I say what I might do to the end anyway. Getting leaves or to whatever. And then making leaf mold that way. This is less hassle, it's easier. I've already got it. It's already chopped. Right, the original corbels which I put in and my small tubers, corms. Put them in pots, don't forget. You remember. And these have dropped down as well, meaning because it's a raised bed and the rain hasn't dropped them. So I've got to top dress these with a good brew. You can see at the end, a couple of prims have opened up Lady Helen. And down the side as well, I've got more Gladys down there. There you can see better now. So originally that top was around there, and that's how much I've dropped. But these, when I do top dress them, I fill them up. I can straighten these up as I put it in. I think there's 4 prims there. Lady Helen holding up. Good for what's it? First online show. So that's the first pot up. There's my good brew. I've got me a good mix, a decent top dressing. Look at that, perfect. So then we're going all over the place. First of all, I'll straighten them, i.e. persuade them to stand upright. Then I'll top dress. And I just slightly press that in, just holding these upright again. So that'll help them out as well. Plus this lot will give them a feed and look after the chaps. Next lot in, any weeds and crap, obviously I'll take them out. Also, so that's the first lot done. That's never the side of the tunnel. You've got to upend the pot for them slugs. There's a little chap. So he went for a walk as well. Well, I did them on all the pots. Probably got about 7 off. Otherwise, they'll still be hiding in the holes. That's that lot done as well. Perfect. Get a job out of the way. Well, I can find a ladybird outside anyway. I'll just bring him inside the greenhouse or into the tunnel. And they'll have a feel out. All the little chaps that are on their green fly or whatever. Right, fruit trees, pruning. I started looking, well, for now, it is the new, updated versions of pruning. Because times change and whatever. And years ago, we only pruned stone fruits of date, but now, because of the weather, our climate, plus the new varieties of fruit that are coming out, they're stronger, healthier, and basically, it's now I'm pruning everything back to 4 lots of leaf or 6-7 inches, and then chopping them. And you do it again in winter. That's a plus chop done. This is apple red sleeve. There's pear, meth, a lot of being done. So basically, he's having a clean up behind him. I've got the blackberry. That's obviously the blackberries for this year. This is the next year's, so he'll be tied up against that wire there, which he has done. Once he gets the end, he'll come back on this one. So the cherry, this is called, yeah. Powder fruits, had quite a bit off them. He's getting it jobbed as well. There he is, looks a bit better. This one at the front is a blueberry. I did buy it for Aaron, because he's in a flat, he's got no garden. He can't have him, so I've got to put him on and look after that chap. I'll find somewhere for him. Damson Merriweather. Let's job him as well. That's better. I've all reached the top now, where I've jobbed him. This is the Victoria plum. Right, tomorrow, we're going away, me and the missus. My mate Mick Seeley and Doreen. Used to be in the fire service with them. And last Gordon Bennett, 7 or 8 years, we've been going on 60s weekends. There's loads of these opening up everywhere. Basically, they used to be going years ago, the old Butlins. That's where we started off down Green, watching these. But the setups was crap. The setups now are superb. Aileen Ireland, we've been there 3 times now. And it's brilliant in the sense. The food's fantastic. You get your own table. This is for the show. You get your own table for the grub. And you're there. You know, there's no queued up. You know where you're going to sit and everything. Obviously, the more tribute bands, some originals. Beach Boys, they were brilliant. They were a new one this year. Monkey's Tail. And Boston Nights. You get your breakfast and your tea and your dinner. You either get your own, stay in or go out. Have a nose round with them, you know. It's Island Island, so pop is only around the corner. It's just the bloody weather in it. Because there's loads to do here at the place during the day. I archery, bowls, and loads of stuff, games. If the weather's crap, it doesn't knacker it up. It just hinders you. So we're there for that weekend. Looking forward to that. If you can do it, enjoy life while you can. We've been doing it since I retired from the bloody fire service. So I've spent all the money on going on holiday instead of buying a new motor. But now my knees are going up, I'm playing bloody volleyball anymore. So we're just enjoying it. I going out. Right, I had this off Ben. I should have put another photo on. I couldn't find it yet. Basically, the fat you get from your air fryer, chipper, whatever, utilize it. Somebody's going to love that. And all you need is dried porridge oats. And that'll soak up all the fat. Just move it around with your fingers and that will soak up everything. I mean, with bloody porridge. Perfect. You're going to love that. Birds. So I bung that in the top of their feeder. And they love it. And you ain't got to bung it down the sink or in the bin or nothing. So you're going to block your pipes. I think you got 4 roses on this one. There we are. We've got a bit bloody AOR. This is the plum pixie. Sort of Mirabelle is at the bottom. That's a cherry. Beth Pear. That's the one down at the bottom. That's for him, mate. He backed out any day one is here, and so you're going to stay in this. Next year, he'll be potted on into one of the big ones. Well, he's all right on the corner there. He's got room. He ain't touching me strawberry baskets and my half baskets. He ain't interfering. Russian can still get round. So perfect. Rhododendron, had him last year. I put on a couple of weeks ago. He's throwing buds again. I'm getting bloody huge. Sure, he's going to flower again soon. These ain't going to wait till next year. They're supposed to only flower once. Anybody else got that problem? Well, it's not a problem. Just get extra flowers. Right, peas, you've got to keep an eye on these now. As you can see, he needs tied up. Help him out. Tell him where they want to go. Also, the I would chop off. You don't need them. You've tied him up. he's got nothing to hang on to, that's what he does. Sends that out to hang on to something like sweet peas and runner beans. But you'll tie him up for him. They'll tick him off. And all that grub that's going to him and going to him. Just trying to chop up. Still feeding me grapes. Needs to be fostered there. Another on this side. And I'm feeding, well, everything. Because everything's still growing. They could grow as a feed I've been using recently. Half a spoonful, 2-gallon bucket of rainwater. Give a good stir. Turn my seaweed. Oh, there's 2 pots. Got to be top dressed. Chop them in. These I'm going to get up for the gaffer. Plus, I was going to put 3 of them in the online show, but I only got 3 ready. So well, 1.5 were ready, and I couldn't do it anyway, so I'll just put 1 in. Then we're all going to be facing it, obviously. Staggered. I only got 4.5. Well, it's better than nothing. 80 birdies having a field down there. I think there's only 2 more left. He yonked them. And then he had a kip for a couple of days. Roses, still feeding them. This one of these off for a bit. But if you look after them, just feed them. Obviously, you've still got the weather. Just feed them weight and they've got to survive. So I keep doing it. And he's throwing new buds as well. I think I've got the 4 photos down, the roses. That's the one corner here. He's the last one. Where I'm just about to open, they don't open yet. That's the other corner. These are corkers as well. That was the last one, sorry. Right, this was last night in Brum. Aaron with his girlfriend Sarah. Went to have a look at there. Had them rented because we're away. Obviously the weekend. Mandy's having Russian, the hound, tomorrow during the day. And then on the night, Aaron and Sarah are looking after. So we went to show Russian where they were staying as well. So I got the sniff of it, whereabouts, how to go. So while I was there, as bought your birthday meal. But the heavens opened to hell. I mean, even driving to his place last night, so we started at about 6. And the boozer basically was only around the corner. Nice little walk if you take piddling down. But he was heaving. In the end, we should have got a takeaway. But legged it down there. Anyway, I had some sausage, pork sausage on bed from a proper butcher. It's supposed to be sausage and onion. A bloody run out of onion. God, dang it. But I got it in my brain, so it's nasty having. And they did us some veg, calabrese and greens to go with it. But that was an enjoyment. Then halfway through, it looked like a salad. I'd run out of gravy, so they had to bring me another dollop of gravy. Durban finally opened. Beautiful flower. Because I've got 2 red ones here, but are now moving in the middle, so it looks a bit more even. Right, with the prims, the gladdies, you're supposed to have 5 full flowers open, pointing towards you. He probably looked like that yesterday, but because he's the oldest flower, he's going in it. And the top flower, and more or less in there. You ain't got even half of it. So that's the best I can get with 5 flowers. So that's what I entered in the show tonight. A little British gladiolus online show. It's worth a go. And then my canna, my dwarf pink has opened up this afternoon. Beautiful. Let's have a close up of the little chap. Corking. So he got orange with red freckles, and there's yellow in the middle of him. Obviously, when he opens up a bit more, we should see that a bit better. But so far, I'm impressed. Right, this is looking in the tunnel, obviously, but what we're looking at are these gladdies here. These are self-setters from last year. So I grew gladdies in here last year. When I pull the gladdies out, the little corbs, obviously some of them drop off, as they've done here, and here. They've started growing. What them at the back have stuff in the sense that I'm not interfering with it at all. So I'm going to leave them in there. I'm going to get a good flower out of him. He's only from a corn, same as me and Lady Helen, them yellow ones. But they're going to be small. But at least he's summered. There's another one, the flower as well. So that's worked out well. So that was one lot. That's where one gladdy was. That's where another gladdy was. Perfect. And the grapevine on this end that was chopped probably 10 days ago because it reached the end. And he's now about a foot and a half away from, so say another 2 weeks, he'll be up here. They're not chopping as well. Another job done. Next year will be the year. I took this photo because Arlie mentioned 2 weeks ago that he hadn't seen many, well, both of us says he hadn't seen many butterflies and ladybirds. Ladybirds are just coming into show now, and butterflies, hordes on them. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 just in that one picture. There's hordes on them. Cabbage white. So I'm active again as it is getting warmer. And today, the flying ants come out. Bloody hordes. There's a Mrs. went with Mandy down. There's a bit of shopping down our zone because they got all planters outside for ours in bloom. There's bloody loads of flying ants, and they were disturbing people. They was all legging it inside. So it must have been a nice day for them, what it was. Right, this was put on a couple of days ago. My mate from Canada has added 43 new photos to the album Canna's 2023. Meaning people like me who like the Cannas and I like him as a flower, and him redden with a yellow outer, and the leaf, look at the leaf on that, beautiful. My missus is going to spare. He's going to have loads. Like, I was only seed off him last year for this year. How many lots of seed? I think I had 12 different lots that was picking from what he put on. Now these are 43 new photos. He's probably already got 45 from the other lot. Cool. There's going to be a bloody loop in a row. Oh, I'll be gardening. And that's it, people. Kathy, good to see you. Oh, glad you could make it.
Thanks, Mick. Good to see you guys too.
Thanks, Mick. Enjoy your weekend.
The next Zoom will be August the 10th. Because next Thursday is our general meeting at the Garden Club. And I'm giving the talk, so that's out the window. So it'll be Thursday after, which is August the 10th.
Thanks, Mick.
Thanks, Mick. Put it on the calendar.
Lost in.
Bye.
Cheers all.
Bye.
Ta-ra, mate.